Welcome to Urban Knife Guy, where we explore the urban lifestyle and jungle survival. Today I am in Bali, Indonesia, and I am on vacation. Unlike most, I did not stay at a beach resort, but I'm staying at an eco-resort that is built around nature. The architecture is amazing, and the entire resort is mostly built out of bamboo, rattan, wood and stone. The property follows the natural landscape and terrain of this area, and there is a river tribute that runs through the entire property that was also preserved as a central feature of the resort. Each room or villa is a separate pod built into the natural environment. This resort is really secluded and is about 45 minutes to 1 hour away from the main beach and is surrounded by beautiful paddy fields. The rice fields go on for miles, and I did a light 5-kilometer hike along and through the paddy fields. Being from a city-state, I would never get a chance to spend time in such an environment and get to walk through a paddy field. I also hunted down a forested area which had a trail. As the terrain was very undulating with multiple cliffs and the ground was very soft and slippery due to rainfall from the previous night, I stayed on trail and followed the trail through the forest. It was uneventful and a nice easy hike through a Bali jungle. If you were to ask me if there are major differences between the tropical jungles of Malaysia, Singapore or Indonesia, I would say they're really similar since they're all in the Southeast Asia region and near the equator. The real difference would be the impact of developments around these jungle areas, and that would affect the local wildlife and to some extent the flora and fauna too. While I will encounter all kinds of critters, snakes, monkeys and even wild boars, it is unlikely I'll come across a tiger or a bear, at least not in the areas I would be trekking in. I'm now back in the comfort of my villa. This is actually the back deck, and as you can see, there is a river stream that runs through the entire property. No, I did not camp out in the jungle overnight. I've actually been living in luxury. But I thought I would share with you the gear that I brought for this particular hike. Now, I did come from overseas, so I left all the big knives at home. So no parangs, no fixed blades. I do of course have some cutting tools, which I'll share with you in just a bit. So let's break this down. So if you watched my previous video, you'd recognize that this is my hiking and bushcraft survival belt. So you can check out that video in the link in the card above or the description below. So I will not be breaking this down again. But it's basically essentially the same kit. I just removed the fixed blade. Everything else I have inside: my compass, my toolkit with my silky saw, insect repellent and first aid dressing. Back there I have the butt pack, which I have my emergency survival kit, which I'll show you in just a bit. A little bit of variation there. And then I also have my water bottle and canteen. This is the Max Petition dump pouch and my gloves. And of course I also have a cap because it's really hot and sunny here. So this is essentially the belt that I brought. I didn't bring a pack. I did carry a knife, and that's this fixed blade here. It is the survival neck knife. This is the Essie Azula. And I also shared this particular setup in a previous video. You can check out the link in the card above or the description below. Now the only difference between this knife featured in the video and now is the addition of that breakaway component. So I mentioned that anytime you have any kind of a neck knife system or anything actually around your neck when you're out in the bush or the jungle, you want to have a breakaway system. And this is a set of breakaway, I guess a connector, so that if there's a very strong tug, it's just gonna break apart just like that. This is basically a plastic connector, and it can come apart fairly easily if there's a strong jerk, but it is still very secure if you're just keeping it around your neck. So this breakaway feature is very important if you are having any kind of system around your neck, because you do not want your lanyard or your paracord, which is around your neck, to be tied so securely that if it snags on a branch or something, it can really cause some serious damage. The other thing I like to talk about is the survival pouch. Got some different nut bars or energy bars over there. And in terms of the items inside, again, it's basically the same. The only thing I had to take out would have been the lighter. So that's the thing, when you travel overseas by plane, now depending on the airline, if they're very strict, they do not want you to bring lighters around, right? Or any kind of gas lighters or anything with gas or anything that is really that can start a fire. They're even against matches most of the times. So what I did was I actually took out the lighter from my original pack. I left that at home, and when I came over to Bali, I bought a new lighter and put that in. And before I leave back home, I'll have to probably dispose of this as well. So that's just one of the things to consider if you are traveling overseas. Make sure you don't carry anything that's prohibited by the airlines or prohibited by the country that you come in. I hope you enjoyed the short video on my trip to Bali as well as the light hike that I took. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you like the content in general, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.